Omagyanatimanasya Jnansla Shalakya Sexual Meditam Hina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Hare Krishna, good morning. This morning we will read from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3, Krishna is the soul's full incarnation, text 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudiyayat. Nastraya Zavatesyu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavati Uttamastuke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Just a moment. That's better. 1:3:18. Shaturdasam nara singham vipratitya tamurchitam tadara kache uraf irakam katakityata. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Nrsimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as a carpenter pierces cane. So, Omajnana Timrandasya Jnansana Slakya Sakshamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chaitanya Manobishtam Staptam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeyam Shikho Shiyuda Padakamanam Shigom Vaishnavamsa Shirupam Darjatam Sakanaraganatam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakanalita Shivashakam Vitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Dyatpate Gopesha Kopra Kantara Adakanta Namastute Tapta Kansnaga Girade Vrindavanashva Vishabhanu Sutadevi Panamama Haripriya Pancha Kalpta Visha Kripasnu Visha Padnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namana Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadhu Gauranga Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Desatani. So this verse describes the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev, that is a Lila avatar, that he appeared, Vinasaya Sadhuskritam, to annihilate the demons, especially one demon, Hiranyakashipu, and to protect his devotee, in particular Prahlad. So what led to the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev? That we find in the 8th chapter of the 7th canto. Prahlad Maharaj had been preaching to his schoolmates, especially during the break in the school, that he was engaging them in kirtan and gave lectures, that they were all sons of demons. Interesting that that not the demons like Kali Yuga, a bit more powerful in that time, that especially Hiranyakasipu, that so they were in a surrounding which was demoniac. Demoniac means that an atmosphere centered around sense enjoyment. That is the sense enjoyment and putting oneself in the center, thinking oneself the controller. Prahlad Maharaj will say in the 10th chapter of this 7th canto, he will explain to Lord Nrsingadev that I'm very afraid of the association of demoniac people, and I've been born in a family of demons. That because there by the atmosphere of striving only for ein, mine, and sense enjoyment, one forgets the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is thrown into the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. Therefore, I'm very much afraid of that. So by the association of Prahlad's schoolmates with Prahlad, their heart changed. And what changed? What was the result of his preaching? The result of his preaching is described in the first verses of the 8th chapter of the 7th canto. The sons of the demons appreciated his transcendental instructions, and they took them very seriously. Prahlad had said before, if you put faith in my words, then you can also understand his transcendental knowledge. And they got all faith in the words of Prahlad, and they rejected all the instructions of their teachers. Sanda and Amarka were the sons of Sukacharya. Sukacharya, a seminal teacher who was teaching Karmakanda, that so the sons of the demons were becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness by the association of Prahlad. They became fixed in the conclusion that Krishna is the only object of human life. That's a problem with everyone and in this world, and Prahlad points that out to his father. Nate vitu svartriatimi vishnum drasi bhairachtamanana. That people do not know that the goal of their life is Vishnu. And they become absorbed in the external energy. That, of course, that when Hiranyakasipu heard that Prahlad has converted all his schoolmates, he became very angry. And he asked Prahlad to come. He was very angry, but Prahlad was peaceful, mind, and gentle. That, he rebuked his son with hard words. Hard words. But Prahlad was a pure devotee. What's the result of doing that? That is mentioned that is mentioned in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, 10.4.46. When one mistreats great souls, his span of life, opulence, reputation, religion, possessions, and good fortune are all destroyed. So, Kaspu said, "You have violated my power to rule you. I will send you to Yamaraj." Said, but Prahlad Maharaj, he was especially brought to this material world to teach the people how to get out of the material condition. He said, "By whose power you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you." But then Prahlad Maharaj said, "The strength of my power and the strength of your power is coming from the same source." That, of course, if the source is the same, then we may think, yes, they get their power from the same source, but what goes there? Different actions. Prahlad, he was a Mahatma, a great soul, surrendered to the Supreme Lord, and he was sure Krishna will. He had that faith, Krishna will give me protection. But Hiranyakashipu was thinking himself the Lord and Master, independent from Krishna, which is the source of his strength. So because the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of everything. It's the strength of the senses, it's the strength of the mind, it's steadiness, bodily strength, the strength of the senses, by its power, creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Everything is going on. And then Prahlad Maharaj advised his father. He said, "We create enemies, and he said, my dear father, give up your demonic mentality. Do not discriminate in your hearts between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised toward everyone. Except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy within this world. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly." So we create enemies and friends according to the dictation of our mind, but there are no enemies and friends. Unless one is able to fix his mind on the Lord's feet of the Lord, one cannot control the mind. And Prahlad continues. He says, yes, if a person is victorious over the 6 enemies and is equipoised toward all living entities, for him there are no enemies. Yeah. Enemies means uncontrolled mind and senses. Especially 6 enemies: lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. But unfortunately, if good instruction are given to a foolish person, he does not take advantage of them but becomes more and more angry. So Hiranyakasipu challenged Prahlad and said, if he is everywhere, then why is he not present before me in this pillar? A devotee who has developed a genuine love for Krishna can always see him everywhere, whereas a demon not having a clear understanding of the Supreme Lord cannot see him. So it means Prahlad already saw the Lord in the pillar, but Hiranyakasipu did not. So Hiranyakasipu challenged, now let me see your most worshipful God come to protect you. Thus he challenged the idea that the devotee is always protected by the Supreme Lord. So Hiranyakasipu struck with his fist against the column, and from within the column came a fearful sound, and the demigods feared that their planets would be disturbed. The demons were afraid. Thus, the Lord appeared in his wonderful form as Narasingha from the pillar in the assembly hall to protect his devotee and to fulfill the promise of Lord Brahma. So Hiranyakasipu was wondering, what is this creature that is half man, half lion? He thought, who can fight with me? And he took up his club and attacked the Lord like an elephant. But as soon as the Lord appeared, the influence of Hiranyakasipu's passion and ignorance was vanquished, and he became invisible, or his influence became insignificant. Hiranyakasipu was destined to be ultimately killed by Nrsimhadev, but the Lord gave him a chance to slip from his hands, which made the demigods being afraid. As a snake captures a mouse, Lord Nrsimhadev captured Hiranyakasipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of Indra. He placed the demon on his lap in the doorway, tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hand. The Lord resembled a lion that has just killed an elephant. Lord Nrsimhadev killed all of Nrsimhadev's soldiers with the ends of his nails. His appearance was causing fear in the heart of all living entities. Because of the pressure of the Lord's lotus feet, the earth appeared to slip from its position. Then the Lord sat on the throne of Hiranyakasipu, and no one came to fight with him. He killed also the soldiers of Nrsimhadev. He sat on the throne of Hiranyakasipu. Our commentators, they comment that, yes, why was Hiranyakasipu sitting on the throne of Hiranyakasipu? Because Hiranyakasipu was Jai, one of these gatekeepers in Vaikuntha. It was his dear devotee. Therefore, he was sitting on the throne of his dear devotee. Because Jai or Hiranyakasipu came to this material world to give the Lord a good fight. Because the fighting propensity is in the Lord. Because it's in the living entities. So sometimes he wants a good fight, but ordinary persons cannot fight with him. So a devotee must come to take that role and give him a good fight. That was the service that Jai and Vijay wanted to render to the Supreme Lord. He had that hidden desire, and the Lord fulfilled their desires. In 3 lives, they would see the Lord as their enemy. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Ravan, and Shishupal. And then, finally, before they went back to the spiritual world, Shagai and Madai in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. But, a few points in this fight, that Hiranyakashipu was compared to an insect who forcibly falls within the fire. So when an insect forcibly falls within a fire, the insignificant creature becomes invisible. Similarly, as soon as the Lord appeared, the influence of the Lord's passion and ignorance was vanquished, as the Lord's quality of pure goodness or the Brahman effulgence became prominent. In that prominent effulgence, Hiranyakashipu became invisible, or his influence became insignificant. So we discussed already the question, why was Lord Nrsimhadev sitting on the throne of Hiranyakashipu? Because this is a commentary from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks in this connection that sometimes with great care and affection, great saintly persons and rishis offer the Lord valuable seeds dedicated with Vedic mantra and tantras, but still the Lord does not sit upon those thrones. Hiranyakashipu, however, had formerly been Jai, the doorkeeper of Vaikuntha Gate, and although he had fallen because of the curse of the Brahmins and had gotten the nature of a demon, and although he had never offered anything to the Lord as Hiranyakashipu, the Lord is so affectionate to his devotee and servant that he nonetheless took pleasure in sitting on the throne that Hiranyakashipu had created. In this regard, it is to be understood that the devotee is fortunate in any condition of life, even if you become a demon. Yes. After that, we see here the Lord became very, the Lord remained, the Lord remained very angry. Lord Nrsimhadev could not be cooled down by anyone. So the demigods, especially Lord Brahma, pushed forward Prahlad. You cool him down, he came for you. So Prahlad went up, and Lord Nrsimhadev cooled down. And then all the demigods offered prayers. But prayers of Lord Brahma, I just mentioned a few. He prays, no one can estimate how you are unlimited, omnipotent, and not polluted. But the material energy, in spite that you create, main, and annihilate the universe. You are not polluted, should be by the material energy, in spite that you create, maintain, and annihilate. So Brahma points out, yes, you are Sudas Sattva, pure spiritual bliss, knowledge, and eternal. This Brahman is a fulgence, this Brahman is the source of everything. So, and because he's not polluted by the material energy, but everyone who comes in contact with him comes also pure. That's the potency. And then Lord Shiva, his service is annihilation. So he speaks about annihilation. The end of the millennium is time for your anger. Please protect now your surrender, devotee Prahlad. Very nice. And then many other demigods pray. We have here Lord Indra. By your presence, the darkness in our heart have been dissipated. The demon has been killed. Your devotees do not care for liberation or for the benefits of karma, artha, and dharma. Now we can receive the results of sacrifices and become happy. That because, of course, Indra he wants his share in the sacrifices, and he could not get that because when Hiranyakashipu was ruling, that so therefore he was happy now that the Brahmins could again perform sacrifices and he would carry share in the in the sacrifice. And then you have many prayers, abundance of Pitraloka, Siddhaloka, Vyajadharaloka, Nagaloka, the prayers of the Manus. But it's all from their perspective. Like the Manus pray, you have killed this great demon, Hiranyakashipu, who destroyed our laws for human maintaining Varnashram Dharma. The Manus, they maintain Dharma. They set the laws, and they were not followed when Hiranyakashipu was ruling. So they speak all from their interest that you have the Kim Purusha. Purusha means human, and Kim means question mark. Is this a human? These Kim Purushas, they look like monkeys, but human-like. So is this a human? Kim Purush. They are praying, we are insignificant living entities. The demon was condemned by the devotees, but they were discussed with him. He was then killed by you. Yeah. The Kinnaras. A Kinnara is like a Superman. That human beings with great strength, mentally, bodily, that's Superman, they say. The Kinnaras prayed, we were engaged by these demons in his service, constantly without remuneration. You have killed this sinful man. He's content to be our patron. So their problem was solved, and that was the most important. These are not transcendental devotees. That they see their own interest. That But at the end, there were prayers of the associates of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, and they say, "Oh Lord, we can understand that Hiranyakashipu was the same Jai who engaged in your service, but was cursed by the Brahmins, and who thus received the body of a demon. We understand that this having now been killed is your special mercy upon him." So this is the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev, the 14th incarnation. So, are there any questions, please? If there are no questions, then we will stop today. This evening, we have Nectar of Devotion, 7 p.m., chapters 13 and 14. That from Monday onwards, I will teach the Bhaktivedanta course for the Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education online, and that will be from 6:30 in the morning till 8:30. But I will not be able to give the class that morning because it clashes at the same time. But I will send you the link. I will send you the link where you can hear these Bhaktivedanta classes. They are going quite deep, and you may be interested to hear them. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the nice class, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Paul.
Hare Bo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Gosh. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.